Hello, good evening, and welcome back to Sim Broadcast. We've just finished our summer break, so we're going to be a bit rusty, of course. It's been about 2 weeks, but tonight we're going to be back with Fragmaster's GTI Thursday for round 26 with the XR GT at Kyoto Ring GP Long Reversed. I'm Peter Butcher. It is that time again, and joining me in the commentary box tonight is Chris McElroy in the background doing direction, and Zdravko Topolnjak. How you doing?
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm good. Pretty excited to see some racing around this great track.
Indeed, it is a great track, and we're going to have a good lot of fun tonight. Let's have a look then at what is going to be going on. We have, of course, been away for a couple of weeks, but the championship has been in full force. It's been going on for in the background while we've not been here. So the team's championship, it is born to race with almost 3,000 points. Zdravko ahead of Road Appraiser. They've been busy.
Yeah, they've been putting in their hours, and it's paying off.
Yeah, Road Appraiser in P2 there, Fragmasters in P3. Then it's World Class Lions, Sidus, Iron, Air Attack, Race Green, Sim Racing Polska, and Energy Virtual Racing who round out the top 10. With a good showing of teams in this championship, of course, as always. We love to see that, and we do have another page of those good old results there with another 5 teams scoring at least 1 point so far in the championship as we enter almost, well, I think we're over halfway now, aren't we, through the year? So we're getting there, and that's great to see that we've had so many teams entering. Let's have a look then at the driver championship standings. It's Fnatic who is leading the way with 10.96 ahead of TJ and Donny. Then we've got Mantas, Twincam, Rayman, Magic, Pekka Koivunen, Joe Holmes, and Fatal at the bottom. And Zdravko, it's just great to see the sheer amount of drivers that have entered the championship so far this year who've scored at least a point.
Yeah, it's awesome to see there's plenty of drivers, but the best thing to see is that FM driver is leading the championship.
Yeah, for sure. Let's watch these results scroll on by. This is 41 to 60. There's Furtive Racing Leo at the top there. Then we've got Rodolfo down there in P80, scoring 16 points. Not seen him for a little while, but again, it's nice to just see a good range of drivers coming along and racing on a Thursday, scoring points and making this list of drivers go well into the hundreds. We've got over 120 entries. I think it's 121 entries on this table. Many people who have scored 1 point at least this season. There we go. MTFK Umut Jan, I think. There we go. That is the Drivers' Championship standings. But let's return then very quickly to the top of this leaderboard, Zdravko, because that is where that's where the interesting story is. Fnatic and TJ.
Yeah, as far as I see, they're both not present today, so probably enjoying their holidays. So it's a good chance for Donny and Mantis to catch up a bit.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's have a look then at the qualifying results as they just happened. It's Joe Holmes who will be on pole position ahead of Sidus Gabor. Then it's Mantas Trespasser, a good return to form after 2 years away. He's getting a second row there, Zdravko.
Yeah, and times are the top 3 times are crazy because Mantis has equaled world record and the top 2 are even faster than that.
Yeah, and 32 qualifiers currently. We might see a couple more enter. Here is the combo for tonight then. 30 minutes, one-shot qualification has concluded, and we're going to be treated to 2 8-lap races, both around half an hour long, just under that. Both have a mandatory pit stop, but the second race, it always gets juicy. We're going to have a reverse top 15, which causes carnage as the drivers who finished best in the first race try to battle their way through to the front. We're going to be racing just the XRG today, so no showing for the XFG, which is pretty cool. This is round 26 of 51. Let's go to the track and get the action underway, Zdravko.
Yeah, the cars are on the grid, and that's a feisty looking grid, and I see that Trespasser has elected to start last.
Oh, that's a shame. I mean, let's see how far through the grid he can get, as we have 3 red lights on each of our gantries, and we're green very quickly. And is that a jump start there from Donny?
Yep.
Definitely, he was very, very quick out of the gates, too quick out of the gates, and he's already in the lead. We've seen that on TV by certain drivers, but there we go. Donny leads the race illicitly.
This has thrown a spanner into works because Donny does not have the pace of Holmes, Mantis, and Gabor, so let's see how that pans out.
Indeed, as the cars filter their way through the first chicane and getting down to that first apex, Donny is going to have a mighty run here. I wonder when he's going to go into the pit lane to serve that penalty. As we've got cars completely cutting the second corner. There's Zdravko. Some of the back markers having way too much fun.
Yeah, some of them are cutting the grass. As we look at Gabor being very close to Holmes, this is the very dangerous turn. They have to lift and brake a bit. As Gabor touches the wall, Holmes manages to avoid it, but it does look like Gabor has draft on Holmes, and Mantis behind might have draft on Gabor too. So this will be interesting to see. I think Gabor will attack. He goes on the upside of Oval. Slots behind. Oh, this will be interesting to see.
Oh, Donny's going to come into play here because Joe's going to get forced a little bit wide thanks to Gabor. Well, actually, Donny got a good exit there. And who's that drawing up alongside? It's Mantas drawing up alongside Gabor then. He's going to have the inside line for turn 9. And yeah, Gabor is on the back foot now. He's going to have the inside. And
Yep.
is he through already? No, not quite. Now he is.
Now is, yeah, I mean, it happens when you go tight into the corner like Gabor went. I think he got a bit played by Holmes there.
Yeah, it's showing his experience for sure, but Gabor is straight back through on Mantas, managing to make that tighter inside line work well for him through these sweeping corners up towards the final sector of the lap already then. First lap of 8 almost in the books, and it's Donny who leads from Joe Holmes, Gabor, Mantas, Master, Botsi, RD2, Rayman, Mika, and Yasin Bidal, who has joined Air Attack by the looks of it, up from air support. And yeah, that is going to be Joe catching up to Donny. I think Donny will have to serve this penalty pretty quickly. I don't think he wants to interfere with the front of this race with that penalty, Zdravko.
Yeah, I don't know if he serves it quickly. He is in the traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally for him, he would serve it on the 2 laps before end and then pit on the last lap. But there are only 8 laps, so there's not so much in it.
Yeah, Botsi's just made a great move with on Master there, and he's caught straight up to the back of Mantas. I wonder if he'll have a slipstream on the home straight. I think he will, actually. He's had a great run, a great exit. Master's being swallowed up by RD2 as well, as we come back round to start-finish to complete lap number 1. And Donny has gone into the pit lane, so that releases Joe Holmes, and Gabor has a big gap as we've got 3 wide going over start-finish. Another couple of cars electing to make their pit stops early, some at the back, who potentially haven't had such good first laps in the race. And it's Gabor with everything to do now, but Mantas still side by side with Botsi. They're having a great tussle here, and it's Botsi again slotting into the lead with a big gaggle behind RD2 there, going side by side with Mika. We haven't seen him for a while, well, good to see him back.
Yeah, and he's already up there. I wonder what's happening with Mantis, because he lost the place to Gabor very fast, and now he lost the place to Botsi. I wonder if it's setup issue, or I mean, if his setup is made in a way to protect the tires, because tires might overheat in this race.
That is interesting. I didn't think that was going to be a problem, but we'll see. Mantas might be just getting his car up to temperature and might be a little bit quicker towards the end, potentially. These are only short races. I didn't think it was going to come into play, but we will see. There we go. Botsi still ahead. Mantas electing to cut in behind and doesn't see a way through at Spoon Corner. We like to call it Spoon. And well,
I like the Spoon name.
It's a good name, exactly. It's a classic. But yeah, the big story then is 1.4 seconds, the gap between Joe Holmes and Gabor, Mantas and Botsi, the 2 cars on your screen. Botsi driving for Sidus in the purple and white machine, and Mantas driving for Born to Race. Hosts of the Turbo Cup, which will be coming up in a week's time, next Wednesday.
Botsi goes to aggress a bit.
Yeah, He is on the ropes. These two very, 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 very fast in the GTI cars, obviously because they're in P3 and 4, and they love us. They love a fight, especially Botsy.
Yeah.
Here's another fight coming up to the final set of corners. It's a Rayman sandwich. Mika and Master make up the bread.
I mean, you
Yeah.
gotta reckon that Mika will get faster as the laps progress. As I think he joined like just before qualifying.
Yeah, he doesn't take too many laps to get up to speed. Mika is one of those drivers who you don't have to give him much time at all before he's competing for front positions in the race. You can just there see Joe Holmes in the very, very distance, with Gabor trying his best to catch up, but another 2/10 slips away from him. Again, it might be Gabor warming up his tyres as well. Varying setups potentially, varying strategies, as Mantas is trying to get a run on Botsy. Botsy with a wider entry into the final corner to try and get away and break that slipstream, and he has just about. So Botsy compromising his entry to get a good exit out of the final corner. Smart driving from a very experienced Sidus team member as Mantas boxes.
Mika also pits.
That's early, Zdravko. So what's going on with Mantas?
Maybe they reckon it's so long pit stop and only 8 laps that they will come out last and not in traffic. So maybe they just gamble on not being stuck in traffic.
Donny's in for his pit stop. He's done his drive-through on lap 1 and he's coming to the pits. He came in like P20 and I think he's going to return right at the very back. I don't see any way forward for him from there unless he has a miracle drive. Joe Holmes then leading with the fastest lap of the race as we head onto the oval for the next time. The third time of asking. Here he comes through the chicane. Bit of white curbing added there so that the drivers can legitimately cut this corner without any problems. And here they all go feeding through nicely. A little bit easier as Zdravko to avoid the wall on the exit with these curbs here.
Yeah. I like those curbs, but they're good for GTIs. But you wouldn't want to drive BR1 onto that one.
No, you definitely wouldn't. It would be a bit of a ramp as we view the cars from the apron of the oval. Very, very fast oval. And, well, it looks like we've got quite a void, actually, appearing between our top 8 drivers and the rest of the field. But Joe looks pretty solid in that position. 2 seconds the gap.
Joe's so far ahead. Joe's so far ahead of Gabor. He's only a lot 2 now for him. Did you get that joke?
I think you're going to have to repeat. My audio glitched, and I'm not even kidding.
I said he's so far ahead of Gabor. He's only a LOD2.
Moving on, we have a battle between the two air attack cars, Firestarter and Yasin. I think Yasin's recently been promoted in that team, Zdravko.
Yeah, and he's already showing that he can drive with Firestarter, so that's a good show.
Yeah, ahead of Firestarter currently. Let's see if it stays like that towards the end. Firestarter, another very talented driver, of course. And yeah, I like the livery that they've chosen today. It's a bit of a refresh. It's pretty nice. Trespasser, after not such a great start, has caught up to the back of Michael Malik. Is Michael driving in his Free Candy Racing livery? Yes, he is. Return.
Sponsored by Kiddos. So I just like to say, if anyone got the LOD2 joke, you can type it in chat. I'll be happy because
I got the LOD joke.
No.
I got it. I just didn't like it.
Okay, that's better then.
Yeah. Michael and Trespasser, old friends, it has to be said. It will be a long time since Michael Malik was racing with Trespasser, though. Trespasser has been away for a couple of years. And it's absolutely great to see him back. He absolutely loves the GTI cars. I remember spending a lot of time racing GTIs in the pickup servers in Liver Speed way back when. So nice to see him returning and clearly enjoying his time in the GTIs, Zdravko.
Yeah, I'm just watching the chat and Gabor says my laps are maxed out. But that can't be true because Botsy and Holmes are faster than him.
Maxed out for him, maybe.
Yeah. Reached the ceiling of talent pool.
Yeah, he needs to dig deeper. There's more in that barrel for him, I'm sure, as Mantas peels to the front of this little group and heads down into the first chicane. Yeah, good showing so far from Mantas. Pitted very early. He pitted only a couple of laps into the race. And yeah, be interesting to see what he can manage. We've got a car going off ahead. That's Piroppo fighting with Rocket.
And
Mike
also
Piroppo.
behind Mantes, Grice took a chance and overtook Nico. So that's some burglary going on, with slower cars being slowed down, being overtaken by Mantes. Ooh, as Nico goes sliding onto the oval.
Unite's going for a move on one of the air attack cars. That's Yasin. Yasin has actually fallen back behind Firestarter by quite a distance, actually. Lost out on about, a second and a half. So something's happened to Yasin on this lap, and that's allowed Nico Pantola, driving under the pseudonym of Unite, as he always does, to try and get through. But doesn't look like he can do it before turn 9. We call it turn 9, even though it probably isn't turn 9 in this direction. It's just turn 9 in the normal direction. If you can't remember the number, just call it that corner.
That corner.
Yeah, that so named because it's notorious for all the accidents. So we just called it that corner. In the background, also Trespasser and Michael. Yeah, it's an easy one to remember.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to remember the accidents. I binned it.
Oh, you did.
The
Yeah, you're a victim
endurance.
of that corner.
Yes.
Everyone's a victim of that corner. That's why it's named that. Michael risks losing a position here to Twincam as well. Twincam trying to get under the boot lid of Michael Malik, as many so often do.
So Twincam and Trespasser started at the back.
Mm-hmm.
They are now P10 and P12.
This is impressive. I do wonder why they started at the back, though. Interesting choice in a championship that's, pretty close fought.
I mean, I would say, do you want to drive a lonely race at 4th or 5th place?
I mean, preferably I'd like to win a race, but you're not going to win a race if you start at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess they realize that they are not at the level that gets them the win. Maybe some tactics for race to start.
Yeah, I mean, the freedom of this series is that you can do your qualifying, and it doesn't matter. You can just decide to start at the back anyway if you want to. As Michael is coming under pressure then finally from Twincam. Twincam around the outside. Michael will be able to maybe nudge ahead as Twincam pushes it around the outside, leaves a trail of rubber on the road, and gets through. Nice move.
Yeah, that was style points added.
Yeah, we cut back to the front as there is a sim racing Polska driver having a battle with Rayman. That is Master versus Rayman as we head into the chicane. Oh, there's no way they're going too wide there, is there? Well, they've tried to do it and both into the wall. RD2 is going to get a massive run here around the outside. And, well, I have to say, from Rayman especially, what was he thinking?
I mean, I was just having my mouth open and couldn't talk because do you really want to send too wide there?
No.
I mean, he did. It did not work. So
it did not work.
I think that's a lesson learned for everyone now.
Well, it's definitely a lesson learned for Rayman. Well, you'd hope it was a lesson learned for Rayman. He's lost 3 places. 2 places. He could have gained a place if he'd have chosen a better place to attempt that move. Trespasser is now getting up to the back of Yasin. Will he try to get through at that corner? I wonder. I don't think there's really much of an opportunity. Unless he forces the issue somehow.
I don't think he can overtake there.
No.
By the way, I took a look at Master's car because he was further ahead before we take a look at it, and his front tires are burning. And it's only lap 5 as Trespasser overtakes him.
Yeah, just about. Yeah, Yasin has to yield. No way back there, and you're not going to get back through until a couple of corners time. I think Yasin might be slipping back down the field. He's already lost 3 places to Firestarter in this race, unfortunately, and risks dropping out of the top 10 because Michael Malik's just behind, and so too is Twin Cam. Twin Cam looking very fast, racing from the back with Trespasser, remember, so Yasin could risk dropping out of the top 10 pretty soon.
I mean, the grid for race 2 is shaping up to be quite interesting.
Yeah, well, this one isn't over yet, and yeah, for sure. Remember, race 2, which is coming up just after this one, will be top 15 reversed. But Firestarter and Master are...
Yeah, Firestarter was very close, and then Master kind of braked very hard for Leicester, and just Firestarter lost his focus there. He had to revise his line.
Well, he's in the pits, and so too is Twin Cam. So, and also Michael Malik
Raymond
comes in. Oh, and
that was Rayman and
second. Sorry, yeah, was that? So that was Rayman,
Yeah.
not Twin Cam. My mistake. Who comes into the pit lane? Joe Holmes is looking very, very strong to Zdravko. 3.2 seconds, or 3.4 seconds, sorry. The gap to Gabor, who has a further 3-second gap over Botsy.
I mean,
But yeah,
Holmes has a best lap of 3:05.98. That's a tenth faster than his qualifying time.
wow.
And he put that car on pole, so he's even faster in the race, and that's just crazy. He's half a second faster than Gabor
Yeah, I mean, that's...
on their best laps.
Yeah. You've got to remember, Joe Holmes has been around in Need for Speed since, well, you know, you have to go a very, very, very long way back in time before you don't hear about Joe Holmes being in Need for Speed. So even though he had a bit of a hiatus, this is an example of the cream of the crop of yesteryear in LFS. You know, it's very, very difficult to compete with that many years of experience. We know Gabor's experienced, but Joe Holmes, he's got more.
Yeah. I think with a guy like Joe Holmes, you really need someone like Mike on his top level, or maybe somebody like Yoni Katila or Isaac to duke it out.
Yeah, anyone from the past, really, that was running at the top of their game, who's crashed. Someone's been off. We've got Rayman in the gravel. We've also got Rocket at a complete standstill after the Avon Bridge.
And Grice has spectated, so it has probably been
potentially a 3-car accident that we missed, unfortunately, for those guys. But yeah, anyway, back to the Joe story at the front. Obviously, not everyone from the past can compete, but you know, LFS's heyday, 2007, 2009, that sort of range. The top flight drivers from there that have moved on to bigger and better things, they were in a different league. Trespasser then, battling with Unite.
Yeah, I think Trespasser will be very soon on the bumper for Unite. He was very close already in corners before this straight. Now on the straight, Unite got a better exit, but if you look at this is where he really gains like 2 lengths of a car already in one turn. And now Unite goes onto the grass.
Yeah, he's willing Trespasser to make the overtake. He's just giving him it.
Does he pit, or is he just joking? He pits. Yeah, it's a lap 6, so that means people that didn't pit now need to pit on this lap.
Yes, exactly. And so many people are doing just that. Joe Holmes will have to pit on this lap. So too will Gabor, Botsy and Trespasser. But Trespasser will use now the clean air to his advantage. And also all of the runoff there, taking the sleeping policeman at full chat.
I mean, I gotta say that I'm confused by the race pace from some drivers. Like Mantis, for instance, his best lap is 1.5 seconds slower than Joe Holmes. And he was 4 hundredths of a second off in quali.
Well,
where has the pace gone?
Yeah, a different beast.
Yeah, but 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, sometimes the setup can make all the difference in between quality and the race. If you don't have the right race setup or something, it just doesn't work out. Maybe it's just a case of you can do it on one lap, you can't do it consistently for 8 laps like Joe can.
Yeah. I mean, they are not having tire troubles. I was checking that because it looked like it could be an obvious answer. So maybe it's just a very conservative setup to not have tire trouble, while Joe can handle more aggressive one.
Potentially,
That could also be the answer.
we've got Magic going up the inside there of Firestarter, and it's Master trying to follow through as well. Not quite going to work though. Firestarter with the outside line, slightly better run, has a nose ahead, and will be on the inside for that corner. Yeah, takes the place back, and there's more squabbling in the back. It's Nozzle, followed by Unite, and there is a Fragmaster driver of Onifus there, the only Fragmaster driver, and everybody goes off the track.
But Onifus profits. And I gotta say, happy birthday to Onifus. I think today is his birthday. So Unite gave him a nice gift.
Yeah. Let's see. Nozzle won't give him a nice gift. That was the door slammed shut.
Yeah, Nozo isn't that friendly, I guess.
No, blissfully unaware of the birthday boy in the background. And it looks like RD2 is fighting with Mika. Or they have been, and Mika has got through. But either way, Joe Holmes is coming in the pits, Zdravko.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. He even risks that he's not taking it slowly or easy.
Of course not. I mean, why would he?
So Gabor already made a pit. What's it too? But Joe like picked a later box. Let's see where Mantis comes out, because he's on the track now. But it does look like he will be even so behind both.
Yeah, so far behind. Joe's already out and into the first chicane. Gabor is out as well. Mantis is in the background. He's going to rejoin in fourth. He'll be close with Botsy, but he's not going to get through before the first chicane.
You know what's interesting? The Trespasser is around Mika and RD2, so that's 7th place.
Yeah, that's a good effort. And remember, Trespasser came from the back, yeah?
Yeah, and RD2 goes wide. That's like saying, come on, attack me. Come on, do it.
Yeah, take it.
I think Trespasser will not do a Rayman here, so he will wait.
Yeah, you can hear him lifting off the loud pedal like every sensible driver should into this chicane. RD2 with a compromised entry, dab of the brakes. Trespasser's going to have a great run here. This could be P6 if he can play his cards right before Spoon.
Yeah, he needs to take the inside here so he gets the outside for the Spoon and just push RD2 tight into the turn. Or just overtaking cleanly and be ahead of him into the turn. Yeah,
that can also just do that instead. Exactly, easy. Nice one. Trespasser up to P6. RD2 has only half a lap left to have any say about that. Doesn't look like Twin Cam's going to have any say at all. But Joe Holmes has all of the says. He is 4.5 seconds clear of Gabor. Gabor and Botsy on their day can be, leagues ahead of everyone else, but not on a Joe day.
No, and not with this car. Yeah, Joe definitely likes the GTIs.
Joe's an LFS fan. It's not specific to any sort of car. But yeah, very, very, very talented in the XRG, of course, and proving it once again. 4.9 seconds as we head into the final sector. And it's Mantas v Botsy to the line. We're going to have a very close fight for P3 in this race, the final step on the podium for race 1.
Yeah, I think Mantas has space advantage here. He closed after the pit stops right on Botsy's tail, and this will be overtake or a chance for overtake into the last turn. He needs to make it a too wide there to slow down Botsy, but he
Well,
lifts. So
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
that. Thank you for great TV, Mantis.
Yeah, good effort for pitting that early and finishing that high up. And Joe Holmes is celebrating already as he heads to the start-finish line to win race number 1 of round 26 of Fragmaster's GTI Thursday in Live for Speed. And coming across the line in a bit of a flourish, it's Gabor, and it is going to be a side-by-side finish between Mantas and Botsy. But Mantas in the end.
Mantis was out of fuel, I think.
Oh, he ran out. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. As the rest of the cars come across the line to finish the race. What a good race it was. There we have, who's that? That's one of the SRP drivers coming alongside one of the Air Attack cars. That was Firestarter versus Master there. Fantastic. I mean, you can't ask for better than that. The XRG really does love this track, and it always provides very, very, very close racing, Zdravko. We love it.
Yeah, I think that there are still some cars to end, but if you look a bit ahead, if there was action in this race, I think that the next one will be the triple, because some very fast cars will have some quite fast cars to overtake.
Well, congrats to Joe. He will be starting in P15. He'll be a bit gutted about that, maybe. We have 6 more cars left to cross the line. And who is going to be our pole sitter? Well, would you believe it? It's going to be the man who did a massive jump start at the beginning, took the lead for the first lap, dropped down to P15 after doing an extra trip through the pit lane to anyone else. It's Iron Donny who will start in pole position for race 2. What a turn of events there.
It worked out great.
Yeah, it works for him. That was his strategy all along.
He just didn't want it to be obvious.
Yeah, exactly. That's smart. But we've rattled him. We have understood his plan. And speaking of plans, it's time for us to begin to scratch our heads in the commentary box, because we need to make our picks for race number 2. This is our silly game that we play during the interval and during race 2 of Fragmaster's GTI Thursday. And it's currently Zdravko winning. Thanks very much to Owen Harmon, who covered for him last month. That's why you've got an asterisk next to your win there, Zdravko, with Mantas. You can thank Owen.
A win is a win.
A win is a win, that's true. But it will always have an asterisk. Yeah, so Chris and Zdravko are leading our little game, and I'm only just out of the blocks, but it's time to choose. Zdravko, choose your winner for race 2.
So the obvious thing to do is to pick Joe Holmes, but I don't want to do that.
Why ever would you not want to do that?
I like the gamble.
Okay, well, I've already filled in TJ for Chris, because let's be honest, I know he's not here, Chris, but I've already filled in TJ. Okay.
So this is hard because Joe is such an obvious choice. Nah, I think Donny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to be fair, that's a curveball.
If he jump starts, I'm just gonna kick him out of the server.
Of course, I mean, he would deserve that totally. So, Donny, no pressure. Don't get a jump start, because Zdravko's game is resting on your shoulders. Chris, what's Chris going to choose? He can't choose TJ this week for the first time in 6 rounds. But he's going to pick a driver that begins with T, Zdravko. He's gone for Trespasser, who starts down in, what will it be, P9?
That would be my second
or
choice.
P10. No.
If I wouldn't.
Yes, P10.
It would be my second choice, yeah. So, a good pick.
A very good pick. Trespasser is Chris's choice, which gives me 158 seconds to decide on my choice. And
do you feel pressure on not picking Holmes now?
Yeah, I want to choose Joe. I've chosen Joe before, but he didn't deliver me the victory.
It's like
You've gifted me him on a plate, though. This is the thing. You've teased it. You said I won't choose Joe because you're a pussy. You've chosen Donny. I'm going to choose Joe Holmes.
Good luck.
Well, come on, right? Trespasser came from the back, and finished in P6. Joe Holmes finished 8 seconds in the lead. I fancy my chances, honestly. I fancy my chances.
Yeah, I agree. It's an obvious choice. It's an obvious choice.
All right. Well, you didn't.
Maybe
do it,
he
so
gets a drive-through, or
maybe.
yeah.
Okay, well, Chris is in unknown territory. Chris is the sort of person that goes to a restaurant and orders the same thing every single time. But today, he's been forced to not choose the lasagna. He's gone for Trespasser instead.
Right?
Could be a good choice.
I'm gonna tell it. I expected that he would just pick TJ, even though TJ is not driving. Like, we win together, we lose together.
Chris could have just chosen no one. Like, no one's going to win. TJ's not here. No one's winning this. But yeah, let's see.
Yeah, funny that you said no one, because Trespasser has nobody on his.
That is true. That is
on
true.
his nameplate. Yeah.
Yeah. There is method in the madness. We will see. So yeah. Oh, hello. As Gabor. Oh, makes a hello. Testing our cameras out with a dramatic entrance into the pit lane.
That's some hidden local strategy going up there.
Yeah. Who also isn't here, as it turns out. So yeah, there we go. There you can see on screen the confirmation of the choices for race number 2. Zdravko's chosen Iron Donny. I've gone for Mr. Holmes, and Chris has gone for Trespasser. 23 seconds before race number 2. It's going to be Joe Holmes on the pole position. Ahead, just behind. Sorry, Joe Holmes will be in P15. It'll be Donny on pole position, followed by Rayman, Michael, Unite, Firestarter, Master, Magic, Twin Cam RD2, Trespasser, Mika. Then it'll be Mantas, Botsy, Gabor, and Holmes. Here we go.
Do we just put camera in the cockpit view of Joe Holmes and watch it whole race like that?
I mean, I'd be up for it from a personal, very selfish point of view. But for our drivers and our audience, I feel like we should give them the variety. Feel free to take the replay after the race. We are green for race 2. Another 8 laps around Kyoto Grand Prix long reversed, and it's a great start from Onifus, who manages to immediately bolt into the lead. And Zdravko has his head in his hands. It's all over for him.
No. Before we get to turn 1, there's no drive-through, so that's good.
Okay,
no
fair enough. This is an improvement from the last race, to be fair. As Onifus leads the field, the tyres, or rather a cone, goes flying, and it's Mika who is looking pretty strong. He's made a couple of positions, trying to get past Magic there on the outside. We've got cars going over the curbs there. Joe is already fighting with Botsy, with the Finnish flag on the roof. Botsy cuts in front as well, so a great start from Botsy. But it's Donny who is under pressure to try and get back past Onifus, the Fragmaster's driver, who are both actually making a bit of a gap to Rayman already.
Yeah, they wanted to be sure Rayman doesn't go too wide there.
Indeed. As we head up to the end of the oval already, this lap is super fast. We've got a fight on for the lead. Donny has heard your wishes, Zdravko. He's on one. He's going for it.
Yeah, and I'm watching behind. Joe Holmes overtaking Botsy and Twin Cam in one swoop.
Ooh, Onifus is trying to go around the outside. He's pushed it very close to Donny. It's not going to work, surely. Donny retakes the lead. That's a good move. And there's all sorts of arguments going on in the background. We've got four cars very close to each other, almost 4 wide, as Joe Holmes then sets his sights on the Firestarter, the air attack car ahead of him. He's forcing his way through on the inside. Firestarter's going to make contact, surely. No.
Contact, yeah.
Backs out of it. And Joe muscling his way through there. Firestarter losing, 2 positions. And Botsy also making a move in the background.
So Gabor has been left behind.
Yeah,
It
Gabor's
goes.
been dropped, and
Yeah.
he's on the brakes into the corner because there's 3 wide. Firestarter gets pushed wide. That forces Twin Cam off onto the gravel. All the drama, as we always have at the beginning of race 2. The faster driver starting lower down always causes this sort of drama on lap 1. But it is Donny who has opened up the gap to Onifus. A very, very nice gap as well. Half a second. Zdravko, you're back in it, mate.
Yeah, so I'm just watching for now on Holmes has Botsi and Gabor behind him. He has Mentes, Mike, Trispacer ahead of him. Not the easiest of jobs. And Donny really needs to run away now if he wants to make the win happen.
He does indeed, and this is Joe's point of view. He can see the 3 cars that all want to take the win ahead of him. It's Mika, very, very, very fast in the XRG. Ahead of him, it's Mantas and Michael in his Free Candy Racing livery.
And Michael is a bit of outlier here because I think he doesn't possess the pace that Mika and Mantis do. So it will be interesting what happens. Maybe Holmes takes them all. What will happen? Oof.
Well, let's
I
see.
think he will get 3 places. Oh,
my goodness me!
This will be crazy, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
The sea opens. The sea has opened for Holmes, and he has gained 2 places.
Yeah, stunning move.
Botsi and Gabor pitted, meanwhile.
Yeah, Botsi and Gabor pitted, and Unite did as well and got a drive-through. As Mika there makes contact with Michael Malik. And Trespasser just ahead. He's having a good race. He is in P5 currently and is trying to push Master for Sim Racing Polska. He's caught up to the group and he's looking to make some moves here. And as we go on to the oval for the 2nd time in race 2, Trespasser is well in the slipstream of that SRP car. And I think he's going to try and move to the inside, is he? Yes, he is. Move on.
Yeah, let's see what happens. So I think he will get him. Yeah, that's a nice move. So there's only Raymond and Oni left, and he's very close already. And that's an unexpected overtake for Trispacer. Unite has left, ruining his bad luck in races, not realizing that he hasn't used a cider skin again.
Yeah, it's his own fault, clearly. And that's a very nice couple of moves there from Trespasser. I didn't expect him quite well. I didn't expect him to be all the way over the top of Rayman as well, but it's happened. And he's up to P3. He's on the podium already. Very, very strong drive so far.
I mean, he's now in good position. If he can manage to overtake Oni, there's only Donny ahead, and then he just needs to make advantage over Holmes, while Holmes have to go through the traffic. The big obstacle for Holmes is obviously Mantis, the guy that has the pace to keep him behind.
Yeah, we're watching Master then, who is backing up Mantas, Mantas, who's changed liveries between these 2 races just to confuse us. Driving in the yellow XRG there in the back of shot. And speaking of Isaac Price earlier, Zdravko has joined the chat.
Yeah, he's rooting on for Trispacer, I see. Hello, Isaac. Sorry, I needed to say that in more serious voice.
Well, look at that. Look at the gap that Trespasser's opened up already on these guys. I know they're fighting and everything, but that is some great
Master
pace.
and only
yeah.
And Joel too.
Joe's in as well.
That's a weird decision. Where will he be? Oh, almost a crash.
Okay, well, that's one way of doing it. They came in together, so Joe had to go the wrong side of the pit boxes to pit, and
he loses the places again. At least only.
Kind of. He's right side by side. This could hold him up. This is no joke. This could definitely. Okay, cutting the grass to try and get the move done. Just narrowly avoids the barriers. I mean, he's made up a place in the pit lane, but I don't know about that. It looked good.
I'm not sure that's the fastest way around
Maybe
the
not.
pit lane. You know?
Well, no, he's actually lost time to Onifus, right?
So Gabor is half a second behind, just behind Master. So yeah, Gabor is not out of it.
No, Gabor's not out of it at all. He's right there. But here we are. This is the situation. Donny, he started race 1 in about 5th or 6th, did a jump start and ended up leading lap 1. Did a drive-through and finished the race in P15. Got pole and now has a 2-second gap over Trespasser, who has worked his way up from P10 on the grid to P2. And, well, we'll keep an eye on the gap as the lap progresses, but I think that Trespasser is in a very, very good position at the moment. Just a reminder for those just joining us, our silly game, the commentator's silly game for race 2. Zdravko chose Donny for the win. I chose Joe Holmes, and Chris chose Trespasser. So it's anyone's game at this point. This is going to be a close one. It's going to come down to the wire, I think.
I mean, if you look at it, some choices are weird, but actually, me and Chris picked P1 and P2 at the moment, and you picked
That's
the fastest guy.
At the moment. What will it be on lap 8? We will see. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm yet to score a win, and I keep backing the wrong horse, so we will see what's going on. Trespasser is now 1.5 seconds. So, yep, 0.3 of a second gone. And, well, Donny, he needs to push. Zdravko, you need to start having it.
Yeah, I think Trespasser is very fast, but what I noticed is that Gabor is very interesting in overtaking Joe Holmes, and that's something you don't want to see.
That's not something I want to see personally, but for the good of the race, I absolutely want to see that. Gabor, where's this pace come from? He was nowhere at the end of race 1, 8 seconds. That's normally the gap we expect to see Gabor ahead of everyone else. But yeah, Joe had a gap, so to see Gabor having a go at Joe is fine. I'm fine with that. I'm not fine with that.
He lost he lost some space now on the exit of this turn. He went a bit wide. But yeah, at the moment, Joe is not making headway into Donny's and Trespasser's pace. Oh my god, what a lap by Trespasser. Trespasser just posted a 3:06.1. Let it sink in, because Joe has the fastest lap of 3:09, 3 seconds slower.
Contact in the back there for between Yasin and Nozzle, while we follow Twin Cam through the first chicane and down to the apex nicely. But it's the fight behind we want to watch. It's Yasin and Nozzle who are bumping each other around this lap. Nozzle fancies a shot here, and it's going to be before the chicane. Don't go side by side through here. We saw what happened with that in race 1. Well, Nozzle goes through, and it's done before the chicane, so that's good. But will he get a good exit? The exit has caught plenty of drivers out, just about. So here we go. This is the situation, Zdravko. Joe is going to close up to the back of Onifus.
So Joe has already went alongside and had to back off. If he needs to back off once more as Onifus hits the wall, Gabor is there and interested. Yeah, Holmes left a bit of space, like a smart man would do, and only did his job in hitting the wall. So that has worked out better for Holmes than I thought it will. Will he go for the pass? I think he will send it. And he does.
Yeah, big send for Joe. Onifus won't have anything to say about that. And Gabor then finds a car between him and Joe. And that's not what he wants either. But yeah, the situation you guys don't want, Chris and Zdravko, is for Trespasser to catch up to Donny and then to start fighting with him. Yeah, what about that?
Let's hope one of them pits.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, let's keep an eye on Onifus and see if Gabor goes for it here. Yes, he's thinking about it. Yeah, it's a difficult place to get through. and Boniface will have the advantage. So again, just slowing Gabor down and ultimately hampering his chances at the win here. You can't let Joe get away if he wants to have that gold medal for himself. And Boniface is not making it easy, although he does run a bit wider. Will Gabor sniff an opportunity? Yes, he does. No, he backs out of it. So he'll try and do it somewhere else, possibly into turn one, maybe, if he gets a good exit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Holmes is already catching up to the group of cars ahead, and if he catches them in a fast turn, it might hurt him even more.
Yeah, the gap at the front is down to just over a second. I think it is going to creep just below the second mark by the time we hit the next sector line, and that is going to be drama because Donny won't want to give it up, and Trespasser wants it so desperately. They go 0.8 of a second now, the gap between our top two, as Joe is closed all the way up to the back of Carl's, so much so he's not going to get a slipstream because he's already alongside. But look at the gap to Gabor. The two behind are fighting quite hard. Boniface and Gabor side by side across start finish as Carl's pits and releases Joe. We've also got who else is in there? Rockets in the pits, as to is Johnny SVK.
So everybody pitted, and now Holmes has an 8 seconds clear road ahead of him. And the next guy is Pekka Koivunen, so he won't catch him in the next 3 laps. So that's clear road for Holmes until end of the race. It's time to show the pace.
Yeah, and it's time for Trespasser and Donny to start losing time by fighting one another as we head through the oval for lap number 5 towards Spoon. Yeah, this is showtime. Trespasser cannot play with his food. He has to overtake immediately in order to keep his chances of a win alive. Donny looks to be on the back foot. He's been caught hand over fist for the last 3 laps, and it's not looking good for the Iron Driver, but anything's possible. We're coming up to that corner, so let's see. Can Trespasser get past in the next few corners? I wonder.
Do you know what I also wonder? I wonder how much speed does Joe Holmes have in this car? Because now he will have to push like hell. Because I don't think he's in the lead at the moment, so he really needs to put in the fast laps, all the free laps that they're into the end. And I think Don is already going a bit off the line, so not looking great for me or for Donny.
Not looking great, but it's not over. Trespasser goes for the move into what would normally be turn 4, and they're going to be side by side. Donny has a run here, so this is not good for either of them. They are going to be holding each other up, but Donny will keep this position. There are 2 right-handers coming up, and Trespasser won't be able to do anything about that. Through Donny goes. So that was actually a pretty good recovery. Normally it could be game over by that point.
Yeah, I think Trespasser went a bit too tight into the turn. Donny prioritized entry too far.
Yeah.
He went onto the grass. Hope Donny doesn't pit now because they will both have to pit. Mantis pits. He was closing up to them. So that's one final straw of hope that Mantis gets out of pits before Joe Holmes does. I think Mantis will be ahead. Yeah, so there's that. As we have Trespasser leading and Donny following him behind. Meanwhile, Joe Holmes is working in the background to get back up to them, but it looks like he has like a 3 seconds left to get.
Yeah, it's not over yet. I mean, in the first race, Joe was able to open up the gap of about half a second a lap, probably just over that on average. So it's going to be close. A second on average, half a second PB, Chris tells us. So actually, quite a lot more than that. It was only a second lead at the end of the line, but was it consistently a second a lap faster? We will see. Trespasser needs to push very, very hard now to try and open up that gap to be as much as possible. It's half a second at the moment over Donny. Donny tried. That was a good effort. P2 at the moment. And, at least he got there legitimately rather than his jump start in race one. Botsy on Onifus. Oh, and some sliding on 3 cars going for a wobble.
That's Master behind them.
Yeah, trying to get around the outside of Onifus via the grass. And he's going to manage it, Onifus didn't like that. Cut straight back to the inside. And it's a drag race up the hill.
Yeah, but only in better position on the inside.
Yeah.
That's job done for now.
Magic is going for a fight with Free Candy Racing, Michael Malik. Exchange of horns. Literally.
You could call those two Magic Mike.
You could, but I'm not going
with
to.
With candy.
Yes. Give me a minute.
Yeah, and Nozo meanwhile being interested into those two.
You're full of good jokes tonight.
Except the lot to one, right?
Donny's in the pits. He's taken this opportunity to go in. So this will be indicative of where we stand. Where is Mr. Holmes?
And Mr. Mantis, because I think Mantis will overtake him.
Yep.
This will be very... Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Mantis
think
is
Holmes
through.
will be behind and Mantis is ahead. Why nobody picked Mantis?
Yeah, nobody picked Mantas. I mean, I have picked Mantas in the past, but he left before race 2, so
Yeah.
I couldn't keep him. There is a reminder of the fact that last time out, Owen did pick Mantas for you, and Mantas won. None of us looked at that graphic before we actually picked for this race, did we? But there we go. Mantas currently has the fastest pit stop. Sorry, fastest split 3.
So
my ears aren't good today.
Yeah, so at the moment, I think Mantis was like a second behind Trespasser before pitting. I don't know who will win. Let's see, Trespasser pits at the end of this lap. Let's see what happens as Holmes sends one on the inside of Donny.
It's a big send.
Joe Holmes really wants you to win pit.
Oh, he's trying.
He's not doing that for himself.
No, totally not. Oh, and there's contact.
Sharing some love.
Yeah, a little bit of a tap, but Joe is through. I mean, unbelievable. From that far back? Really? Unbelievable.
That's what I said when I saw chances of Donny slipping away.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Mantas, well, he's going to be looking in his rearview mirror, but he's also going to be looking ahead because he's got some traffic to deal with now. Let's have a look at something else before we overexcite ourselves. It's Magic and Michael. Magic Mike, take it away, Zdravko.
I'm just laughing, as you said, as we overexcite ourselves with Magic Mike, and they touch. That was more like a hit.
Yeah.
But Magic is through, and Mike is on his own. And yeah, they will need to pit. Yasin is behind them, and Koivunen, and then Mantis is already the top pitted car.
Yeah, a reminder of that fact on the timing tower that everybody ahead of Mantas is yet to stop. Mantas is currently, though, behind Pekka Koivunen. But don't worry, Pekka Koivunen is going to be disappearing down the pit lane and probably won't pose much of a blockade for Mantas. Trespasser is in the pits. Let's have a look at that. Here he comes. See where he comes out. This could be it. This could be Trespasser taking the lead if he's had a good few laps. I think Mantas is still going to have it, but by how much? You're going to see a yellow car flash in the background. There it is, just appearing. That's Mantas on the right-hand side of your screen. Just disappearing out of shot.
He looks very, very close. He looks very close.
You're going to see him come past the left side of our screen now. It's going to be close, but I think Mantas has got it by a little bit. That's so close, but Mantas does the job. And I don't see anybody getting anywhere near him. Mantas, the dark horse of this one. No one predicted this at the beginning. Joe has managed to sneak up right behind Trespasser, though. But look at that. Trespasser has managed to jump Joe. Opened up the gap to Donny as well. Fair play. Trespasser, what a return to form. It has to be said. If you take 2 years away from Live for Speed, like cold turkey, he stopped. He went for 2 years and he's back. A couple of races to get back up to speed. And, well, speed he has in abundance as we head through the first chicane. Mantas hit the wall, so has he slowed himself down?
He wants to make it interesting.
Not enough. That gap is too big. Mantas has this in the bag unless he makes any other mistakes. But what is going to happen for P2 in this race? Trespasser versus Joe Holmes.
You know what I'm thinking? We're getting quite good at predictions.
Are we?
Because in the top 4 there are 3 drivers that we picked, and they are like 4 or 5 seconds ahead of Gabor and even more ahead of Mika and Botsi. So we did a good pick, even if no one wins.
Yeah, I think. Well, the fact that none of us win is fine. I'm fine with that. But someone's still going to score some points, and I hope it's me. But there we go. Trespasser currently in the lead of our little game, but it is Mantas leading outright. Here comes Joe Holmes. Is he going to go for it now? No, he goes to the outside. Interesting to try and maybe force Trespasser to think about where Joe is planning on attacking. Meanwhile, Mantas is, he's got this. He's driving very, very nicely indeed. He came out of nowhere. Good effort from Mantas, I have to say. That has taken me by surprise.
Joe's a bit nervous, it looks like. And it looked like Trespasser has lifted a bit more than he needed to.
He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it into some of the penultimate corners. They come together. There's a big slam. Trespasser shuts the door, says, "No, you don't." And
I mean, this works okay for me if Donny overtakes them.
Oh my goodness!
Because Trespasser braked.
Is Trespasser out of fuel, or did he miss a shift? But anyway, this is
so
our
Donny's
3 picks. Donny's arrived. Joe goes for the inside. Guessing he's going to slip through. Yes, he does. But we need to watch Mantas because Mantas has driven a brilliant race. There are those 3 in the background. We don't care about them. We need to give Mantas some praise. What a drive from Mantas in the end to finish. Well, it's going to be about 2 seconds by the time the guys in the background are done. Mantas wins round 26 of Fragmaster's GTI Thursday. Congratulations to him. But what on earth's going on in the background? It's going to be Joe Holmes.
Donny overtaking Trespasser.
Oh, he's done it.
Yeah.
He's done it.
I mean, that was a great finish by those 3. But I'm not sure what happens with Trespasser. Maybe fuel?
Potentially. Maybe just
Chris has time out from server in despair.
Yeah, just in the background there. Chris timed out from our TeamSpeak server. But he's back now. His internet was so upset with Trespasser that it disconnected. Anyway, Mantas is our race winner out of nowhere. Well, I guess not out of nowhere. We just weren't being observant. We didn't see him see him coming. Joe Holmes takes P2. That is wonderful. That is a point for me. And many points for him in the championship. But we do have a few more cars just finishing the race. Let's give them the due attention that they deserve. So after our podium, Trespasser finishes just off the podium. A little bit unlucky there in the end, having been so close to the front most of the race. Then it's Gabor in P5, a very unusual place to see Gabor, it has to be said. Then Mika and Botsi, Master, Onifus and RD2, your top 10. As someone comes to a halt just after start finish. Wanting to cross start finish, but not use too much fuel. Just, just over the line. That's everybody. Zdravko, they have finished. Let's run through those results. It's Mantas winning in 25 minutes, 26 seconds ahead of Joe Holmes and Ian Donny. Then it's Trespasser, Gabor, Mika, Botsi, Master, Onifasnadi 2. Twincam in P11, Nozzle, Rayman, Firestarter, Magic, Michael Malik, Pekka Koivunen, Yasin Badal, Carls, and Gum Garages Donis in P20.
So in P21 we got Friends United Rocket, followed by Nico, Johnny K spelled backwards, Hermione, Max Kursk, and Aaron Kursk. P27 was Kirko, and he was the last one of the finishers. We got Piropo, who didn't finish but was a lap down, and Unite with Wrong Skin, and Hachiroko, who finished only one lap. And fastest lap was taken by Joe Holmes. Yeah, 3:06.10. It's a bit slower than race 1, but still faster than world record, so job well done.
Yes, indeed. And, well, that is all she wrote for this race. And what a race it was. I enjoyed that massively. Mantas can be pretty happy with that. Out of nowhere for Born to Race wins ahead of Joe Holmes, and Donny rounds out the podium. Yes, I scored a point. I can't believe it. That is 2 on the table for me. Unbelievable. Anyway, that is everything from us for tonight, and we will be back with Fragmasters GTI Thursday in 1 month's time. Here is the schedule in a combination that is to be confirmed on the 27th of July of the year 2023. Round number 30 will be starting at 7 o'clock UTC. And we hope you can join us for that. Don't forget to tune in to Born to Race Turbo Cup next Wednesday. That's going to be with Zdravko, Topolnjak, and Mika Sarkinen in the commentary box. I can't wait for that. We hope you can join us for it too. Zdravko, you looking forward to that?
Yeah. Will be fun to talk about something a bit different.
Yeah, some TBOs for a change rather than the GTIs. Thanks for covering for Zdenek for that one. But yes, from all of us here at Sim Broadcast, we hope you have a wonderful evening, and we will see you at the next one. Have a good one, and good night.